Let's go. Swizz is here. Look,
Wake
man,
up,
it's
go.
Ebro in the morning. Wake up, nigga. Wake up. Rosenberg, Lost Styles, Swizz Beatz, man. Good to see you, sir.
I'm happy to be in here. I see I got the lobby looking all fancy.
You know,
I ain't get searched when I came in. This is a lot different than how
I've worked to clean things up. We've worked very well and hard with.
I mean, the guy downstairs was actually nice.
Yeah, we've worked to clean things up.
Welcome.
the afternoon guys are nice. I will say.
Yeah, he was like, I'm pulling out the ID. He's like, no, go ahead. I'm like,
Swizz
whoa.
Beatz.
And all the elevators went to the floor.
Yeah. There was a time we only had one elevator that came to the 7th floor.
I went straight to that elevator. The other one said, no, you can go this way. I said, serious?
That's so funny. I haven't thought about that in a minute. I preferred those days.
Because
now
we had our own elevator.
Yeah, because now you stop at sometimes 6. If it's lunchtime, forget it. You're waiting.
We definitely had the express lane going.
That express lane was
get them
tight.
in and get them out.
Yo, this is it's a new time here, Hot 97, man. We work, and you know, even in the city of New York, which you being a New Yorker, I'm sure the new New York that you're seeing with like, you know, obviously there's a lot of gentrification everywhere, there's a lot of changes, but even in the South Bronx tonight, you being from the Bronx,
yes,
right? Now you're going back to your home borough, putting together an entire installation of art, music,
definitely,
bringing brands together. Talk about what's happening tonight.
So tonight is the opening of No Commissions, art fair that I came up with the concept because I was going around to all these different fairs and these different shows and these galleries, and even coming from music, everybody always had their hands in the artist's pockets. Like it's like, okay, you can do this here, but I need this, or you can show up here, but you know, I'm gonna get my cut from here. And I just was like, you know what, like I want to just create a situation where the artist can keep 100%. And then also, I made it free for the people as well because I don't like. Why should you have to pay to go see creativity? You know, especially visual creativity. You know, something that's stimulating and different things like that. And like, I was like, nah, let the people in for free. Let them see the music experience for free. Let them see the art experience for free. And you know, I did it in Miami during Art Basel.
That was your first one.
Yeah. Very disruptive. Very disruptive because I made the announcement like the week of. And it was just a frenzy, you know, sold out.
Now, disruptive in a good way, or were people mad at you for what?
No, it was in a good way. It was
okay.
Because, like, you know, people were so used to seeing the same thing. And then when I built my fair, instead of like having it and connecting with another fair, it was like, whoa, this is a completely different model. And when it was the entry point to get in was so easy, it's like, no, I don't need my VIP pass. I don't need this. I don't need no.
Because some of those art fairs can be really intimidating too.
Very intimidating.
Like I've been going for a long time, and there was a lot of times where I would sit there and be like, well, maybe me and my Jordans don't belong here. You know what I mean? So so I thought it was really dope, especially when I heard that all the proceeds go to just strictly to the artist. That's a big deal. They take huge chunks.
Yeah.
Like
50%.
50. Like,
to host them, to house their work.
Wait. So I paint something.
Please don't do that.
It's not gonna happen.
Okay.
And then I want to show it. So I have to give somebody 50% of whatever I make to show it at a gallery or a show. That's or both.
Yeah.
And then do they own my work at that point? Or how does that work?
There's so many tricky rules because like some artists, and I know this because I've been hearing this for a long time straight from the artist. And so that's what made me want to do something about it because I'm like, yo, if the gallery ship your work, that's kind of like they own it. They already put this money into it. So they's like, you know, if that work doesn't sell, then the gallery is like hesitant to give you your work back to go do something else with it, even though they didn't hustle up to sell that for you. And that they represent you. It's like, yo, well, let me get my piece back and put it over here. No. You know, technically we own it because, you know, we spent $3,000 on this shipping and this, that, and the third. And the artist is just like,
so crazy.
Kind of like, oh, okay, I got to go do something else then. And so it's like the galleries win, the collectors wins, the fair win, but the artists got to kind of find their way.
Right, because the collector now owns this piece of art that now becomes more valuable over time.
And 9 times out of 10, the artists ain't even get paid for that yet. Maybe get paid 5 months down the line, even though they show might have sold out. And I know that because when I was, artists would call me for flights back home. I'm like, whoa, your show just sold out. He's like, yeah, but you know,
I haven't got my
can't
money.
get my money yet. And I'm just like, that's crazy, man. I've been to artist studios that I'm like, yo, why is like the AC not working here? Like, this is not good for the work. He's like, well, you know, I'm like, but you with the biggest gallery ever. I just, you know, so these different things.
So the galleries are pissed at you.
Nah, because I'm not telling people not to go to their galleries. Because I'm not a gallerist. I don't have a gallery. I'm not a broker. I'm an artist. So why should I charge artists a commission just to celebrate their work? Now, if I was a gallery doing this, they would want to kill me.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm
Most
saying?
definitely.
They want to kill me but my thing is like, I don't want to be contained into a gallery. You know, I want no commissions to be a global thing. You know, we're going to Asia, we're going to Europe, we're taking this on the road.
And it's really cool because he's creating an experience, right? He has you have like A$AP Rocky, Young Thug performing,
Yeah.
and a lot of times
Melly
that
Mel.
that
Oh, Melly
element
Mel's in there?
super
It had to
cool.
be. It's in
That
the
element,
Bronx.
yeah,
Blocks.
that element brings people first, and then they get educated because you have artists from all over the world,
All over the world.
and most of the time, most people don't go and get to see these artists. And
Did
experience.
Swizzy come to your art show?
No.
I didn't get an invite.
Damn, Laura.
Sammy didn't invite Swizz Beatz?
Well, I invited Grady, your good friend Grady, and he came. And I told him you should invite Swizz, but I know he was, it's small. I'm small time, it's small
You didn't
time.
want to bother Swizz? He would have
What are
come.
you talking about?
Yeah, so I was like, okay. Well, at least he came.
See, never think that your work and you is too small.
See, Laura, you hear that?
Well, okay, I didn't want to blow you up, but I did definitely was like, yo, can you invite him? I told enough, can you invite Swizz? I was definitely telling people
Should
to
have sent
invite
him yourself.
Hey, yo, Grady.
But I don't know
need
him
my
like that.
art invites, Grady.
Yeah, I'll make sure. I'll make sure. And you would have
Yo,
loved
Grady
it too.
got
It was
dressed
really
up,
good.
too.
Grady in there
He
dressed
came
up,
with a
showing
suit.
up.
Yes, he showed me
Looking
super.
like
Yo, he
Pepper
was so
Pew.
supportive. He was awesome. Yeah.
Laura, Laura, why don't you go ahead and have some art talk real quick? I think it's time for Laura.
what
and
do you
Swizz Beatz.
mean?
Just talk art. Ask him questions.
Because I'm done with questions. That's all. I don't really know the art world.
So I wanna hear
Well,
you guys
maybe
talk
maybe
art.
you guys should ask. Okay, Swizz, let me tell you something. I've been doing this for a really long time. So they always make fun of me and they nerd out. They're like, "You're such a nerd. No one cares about your stupid galleries and wherever you go." Like I've been going to Basel for like 7-8 years because a lot of my friends stop with your shit right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who's
You
doing
hear
the
this?
remix to your conversation right now?
You see this?
We figured it was art, so it needed some special music to go with it.
At heart, my God.
A lot of my friends are street artists, so I grew up with them, and I've seen the evolution. I've seen them from taggers to I can't. You see the disrespect? You see what I deal with, Swizz?
Like, he lined you up perfect for
I
that.
can't. I
Okay.
cannot.
All right, sorry, we're done.
You done?
Yeah, we're done.
Wait, but if you
Okay.
really do have more art, like just like art, I want to hear just art talk. I want to learn. I don't know anything. We don't know anything.
Well, maybe you should
All I
come to
know
no
about
commission.
art is graffiti, dope. And then I'll see something like when I was at Swizzy's birthday, or was it your birthday, or was that a holiday party? When it was me and my lady showed up, we was having Kid and Play perform.
Well,
Then
that
you
was-
had the big art thing and
That was
the
my wife's
cars.
birthday
That was
party.
your wife's birthday.
Yeah.
That was at least, and the cars wooden
Yeah,
50-foot
yeah.
thing
Super dope.
installed in the house. What is that thing?
Yeah, it's a called sculpture.
Cars. How tall is that?
40 by 40 feet.
Wooden, right? What's it made of?
All wood. Crazy.
In his home.
Yeah.
How can you fit anything that's 40 by 40 in your house?
Swizz Beatz.
Take the walls out that thing.
Take the walls off.
And
Take the
rebuild.
walls out
Walls
that
off.
thing.
Walls off. Show
We had
time.
to take the tops off. We had to take the walls off.
So anyway, that's all I know is like, oh, that's awesome, that's cool, but I
Mm.
don't really know and understand the craftsmanship part that Laura and the art direction we
I
call
can't
it.
stand you.
Laura's
right
big on
now.
art direction.
Listen, it makes me happy because I've seen a lot of my friends struggle for a really long time, get arrested, put
Real
in
time.
work and not being
Super work.
respected for what it is. It was a subculture for a long time, and graffiti wasn't, there was a moment where people loved even graffiti on like album covers and everything, and all of a sudden nobody wanted to mess with it anymore.
I agree.
So now that, my friends, like Howard knows them, they're from
They used to laugh at me for collecting art.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of my peers used to laugh at me.
not anymore. Now
big
they-
ones.
You know what I mean?
No.
Just collecting art? Why would you do that? Like, why would you spend that just filling your wall? I'm like, I just vibe with art. And I've been preaching art for like over 10 years now.
Did you get Hove into art?
I showed him a couple of things. I think Hove has been. See, the thing is, like what I was saying before, is like the entry point. But then Hove could trump me because I heard him mentioning art names in way early lyrics. But, you can do research on something, but actually physically having that thing or physically knowing the next level to that thing is something different. But, Hove is, he got a sick collection now.
What's the piece that Hove has that you saw and you're like, damn, that's ill.
Yeah, what does he have?
He got some dope pieces. He has the sorry, Hove, but we are in New York. He has the Empire and Basquiat piece. And he did the song, with my wife, Empire. So to own that piece, he beat me to the punch
Woo.
with that.
Now,
And it was pretty pricey.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't even know, is there, I don't know have any.
Really pricey.
It's up there.
It's a lot.
Really.
I couldn't even tell you.
pricey.
So is you say you apologized before you talk about the piece, right? Is that part of the
No, only because
collector thing?
that's only because it's like his private thing.
right? But that's what I'm saying. But it's still, I guess it's still a prized possession in the art world. So doesn't the rest of the art world know that someone
sure.
owns that piece?
They know. The art world
Yeah,
knows.
I mean, it was in the paper.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But so that's not really like you're telling insider information to say that so and
Nah,
so.
but I always like to,
yeah. Make sure.
make sure.
Right. What's your most prized possession art that you have? Or top two, I guess, because you have a lot.
I have this Ernie Barnes original piece from the 50s that his wife allowed me to get from the estate, which is like pretty sick. And he's responsible for the Marvin Gaye covers, all those
wow.
amazing, yeah. But his first piece of work was a piece of his hometown, looked nothing like the dances and all those things from Good Times, and and the Marvin Gaye piece was going on. It was just like totally different, and for me that's like pretty crazy because the way that I have it, it's not like I don't have it like bam, 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 bam. I have it like in the bookshelf,
Got it.
just sitting there. Like you would never even know. It's just like in the bookshelf, and it's like, oh, by the way,
By the way.
yeah.
At the time when Ernie Barnes, when they were showing those pieces and acting like they were JJ's pieces on Good Times, right? and acting like JJ painted them.
Yeah.
Was Ernie Barnes world renowned yet at that time when that TV show was on?
He was.
Were those pieces known as valuable? Because as a kid watching, I was just like, JJ can paint? All right. I didn't know. My dad had to tell me and put me in the
I
game.
think that show helped him get to the next level. But his story was he was a football player who retired to become an artist.
That's crazy you just said that because I'm sitting here Wikipediaing like an asshole as we're talking about it. And when I typed in his name, Wikipedia came up. And so right away it says career, Baltimore Colts, blah, blah, blah. And I go, oh, I guess I got the wrong page. So I went back and went somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's the same dude. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Football player turned artist.
I mean, he was getting it in football, found his love in art. Wow. Crazy.
And so the art world, right? Like I've seen, obviously I, started paying attention as I got older. I learned about Ernie Barnes. You hear Basquiat. You obviously heard of Warhol. You start hearing these names. Obviously, fast forward now to street artists. You have Banksy, and then you see a documentary like Exit Through the Gift Shop, where they basically make a mockery of the whole art industry and how things get value and hyped up, and like the term we use, hype beasting, like where it's like the world moves towards an artist. Like, how is that decision made in the art world when the art community, is it the same as kind of hip hop in some regard where the community decides this is the hot shit, everybody rallies around it in some way, and then it go like
that's one side of it. But the way I collect, I collect all living artists now. And I collect art from my heart. Like a lot of people collect art for hype beats, right?
Right.
And so for me, I just stopped collecting for the wrong reasons. It's like I used to collect, like my earlier works were like more name-driven works. Chagall's, Dali, Sam Francis.
Never heard of them.
You have dollies?
Yeah, originals too.
You have dollies.
What does that mean?
So obviously
Salvador.
someone who's made.
Salvador Dali.
Salvador. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I've heard that name before. Okay,
Yeah.
There you
okay.
And then so I just was like, man, Basquiat never really got to see his work get to this level. Breaking records, all these different things. My Basquiat shirt.
Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah, Basquiat of course right now, baby. Right? And so I just like the concept of like smelling your roses while you're here. And the new Basquiat or the new Heron or the new Warhol, like where they at, where they, what they look like. You can speak to them on the phone. It's a different thing. And so I just got like, I just want to just collect all living artists, and support that. And so like the Dean Collection is all living artists.
Is that okay? That's where I was about to go next.
Yeah.
The Dean.
So
Collection.
Dean Collection is my new segment, and I started the Dean Collection as like a museum for my kids. So like when they get old, they have like all these different works that I collected through my journeys and traveling, and they were to pass that on instead of just worrying about like publishing and all that other stuff. It's like you see people building up things for their family, but what I noticed was that when I was posting these new artists, they were hitting me back like, oh my God, thank you. I was like, well, I like your work. Like, no, I sold out my show. I'm like, whoa. And I started realizing that my power with putting these people work on my page was changing their lives. So I was like, wait a minute, I can't just collect for my personal use. I gotta,
I gotta share.
I gotta share what I'm collecting because people don't get to see these at Sotheby's, Christie's, and all these different galleries and things like that. And so it just like created a new discovery, and that's what made me start No Commissions as well. And then I got the rule with the Dean Collection is that once your work going to the Dean Collection, I can never sell it. Why? Because I don't own it no more. My kids own it. So that prohibits me from being able to sell that big cause with, because I got like 5 offerings on it. Where I'm like, okay, well, I get them to do another one. It's like, you can't touch it.
And some of this is not only building value around these new artists, but what I'm hearing also is you've now, just like many people before you who have collected art and have become wealthy collecting art and helping artists get wealthy, it helps your family later on as well.
Big time. And and
Big time?
Big time.
Showtime.
And and it's funny because it's the reason why got a little controversy around my show in the Bronx.
Right.
It's always like that when you go back home. But it's cool because I think the controversy brought like more attention to the situation because
I don't understand.
But what
it.
was the controversy?
I don't get it.
Was it that you didn't include Bronx artists?
I was
just gonna ask you that.
I did include Bronx artists, but the show is not a Bronx artist only show. What I wanted to show people in the Bronx were artists that they may never be able to see,
Right.
or have a flight money to pay for a flight to go to Miami and Basel and see this variety of art. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna have some Bronx artists, Brooklyn, people from Asia, Nigeria, whatever, because it's like bringing a global mindset to where I'm from because we didn't really have that. We was boxed in. You know what I'm saying? We only knew like a couple of blocks. And so open that up for the masses to come and see. But, they have a problem of where I'm doing it at, where they had a problem. I got like 95% of it handled. Because it's just miscommunication on a lot of different things. The gentrification that's happening there. The party that was thrown in the Bronx, which I didn't agree with that party because the way that it just represented the Bronx. So that space was available, and I declined that space. Now, this space that I'm doing wasn't available. And I searched like all around the Bronx for like a dope space. I couldn't find the space. And so this space was available, but the landlord that owned the other space owned this space. But people think that like he came to me and said, Swizz, I need you to go do this place to promote what's about to be built here. Nah, like he's losing about $2 million of pushing this project back for 2 months just so I can have this space, right? And so I'm like, wow, like that's generous because it was hard to get in this space. Because I'm like, I live 12 blocks from here. I grew up in St. Mary's Projects, like 12 blocks right from here. So this is like, man, like this feels special to me,
right,
of having it here. I'm not the landlord. I don't own that property. I don't have anything
But
to
the
do with it.
environment of the South Bronx right now, a lot of people who are still living there feel like they're losing their neighborhood. So that kind of clouds the
I understand
the whole thing.
But you know what? When I first
You know what
heard
I'm
that
saying?
he
Like
was
that.
doing it,
And that's happening a lot around New York City because things are changing
I
so
understand
fast.
that. And even like the people that want to protest. I can't knock what you're feeling, and I understand what you're feeling. But don't protest no commissions because this is really for the people. You understand? So let's not get me caught up in the crossfire of a war that's been going on for a long time. And, I've been doing things in the Bronx since forever. This is not like my homecoming.
Yeah.
This is the most, this event is the most publicized because I wanted people to focus on the Bronx, and they're not focusing on like what land it's on or who owns the land. Like that's not being promoted. 96 million impressions before the show even started says the Bronx. And that's all of the Bronx. Like when you think of that, you're not thinking of what location, what's this, what's that. They don't even know the location. Location's not even out. So it wasn't built on like promoting this location for gentrification.
And you have to RSVP to go, right? Like you can't just...
Yeah. We're in order.
Yeah.
We got things in order, but I sat down with all of the groups. I really took time. I took a lot of energy and a lot of time, but I thought it was important that I spoke to the community and really no filters, no publicists, like me sitting down with, Crash and Tats crew and all of them and sitting down with, all these other different organizations. And I think it was a very positive outcome because they had an anti-no commission event happening. It's not the anti-no commissions event. Now it's a celebration to Bronx Artists event, which I'm supporting 100%. promoting also. You know, and it's like, yo, like Bronx versus Bronx is whack.
Yeah, and this isn't your homecoming. You're not the guy who hasn't been there.
Yeah.
Now you're like, I'm back.
No, but people really think that. Like, I got a charter school in the Bronx I've been funding forever, the Bronx Arts. You know, I just did an installation on the Bronx Museum when I'm on the board of the Brooklyn Museum. You know, but now you don't want to, you know, but my thing is like, where were all these people at before? Like, when I was growing up and we was really going through hard times, like, where was all these decision makers and telling me how to curate my show? When we was really out there in them streets, I didn't see these protests for like things that was helping us as youth and different things like that.
Well, now you got social media, so your protests really just, you know, a lot of times you have your social media protests where people just are hitting like, and then you have people who are really doing things in the community that just, and a lot of times what ends up happening, shout out to everybody that, you know, we work with up here, they just want to feel involved. They don't want to feel like they're on the outside.
And that's the key.
And
Like
that's
a lot of this had to do with like not being personally invited.
Right.
But I had to keep it all the way. I'm like, yo, I'm a student still. I don't know everybody and I don't know everything. I'm learning as I go, which is the reason why I'm taking time out to reach out and speak to everybody so I can hear and, okay, well, let's change this. Like, I got the landlord to change it from the piano district. Well, we're not naming this the piano district. I had him change that name in 30 minutes. 30 minutes, like, okay, so it's like, it's not my district anyway, so the hell with the piano district. Like, what name, you know, let the people name it. And so my thing, what I was telling the people that was going more on the negative vibe was like, if that person might not be hearing you or you might not be hearing that person, but me and that person have a communication, obviously, if I got him to change that name in 30 minutes. So imagine what else we can do if we really organized and sat down and spoke to this person, even though you don't like him, you don't trust him, and he may have lied about this or lied about that, but I'm on the people's side. And he can't just say anything to me because I come with 1 million plus strong also, right? And so my thing was like, yo, let's forget all this yelling and screaming. Like, let's sit to the table, being that we got to connect to speak to this person, and let's see how many things we could change, because the bottom line is the man bought the space a long time ago. Everything has been paid a long time ago, and it's happening. So, and he don't have to answer to nobody. You see what I'm saying? But my thing is, he's willing to do some things, but we got to organize and see what we really want. Some people just want to fight, and then some people want resolutions, you know?
Some people just don't like change either, man. Like, New York is changing so fast on us. Like, it's not going to stop. Like, every time you turn around, there's a new building. Every time you turn around,
it's crazy.
And it is not the same city. That's the blue collar city that a lot of us remember just as recently as 5-6 years ago. Forget 20 years ago.
For real.
You know what I mean? Like 5-6 years ago, this city has changed a lot, and Manhattan is completely different. It'll never be the same.
Brooklyn is more expensive than Manhattan.
Moving out, getting to East New York, where you have families buying houses in East New York, turning it up.
And that's the problem. And so when I hear the concerns, you know, of these, you know, senior citizens that's getting pushed out and these things happening, and excuse me, even though it's creating new jobs and everything like that, it's also like, well, what about my grandmother? You know, she gonna get pushed out because of the taxes of this and that and all. It's very complicated. So that's why I can say don't protest. Do whatever you feel that makes you happy, that you feel you're going to get justice for it, do it.
And it's a real conversation that has to be had.
It is.
Right? Because there are a lot of people moving out of New York,
But my thing
too.
is have the conversation.
Yes.
Have the conversation. Don't just rally up. You can rally up as well, but if you have to connect to have the conversation, have the conversation.
At least try.
At least try. And most of the people had this conversation. That's why we got to a great point. But there's some people that's just like, no matter what even if I would have did the show all Bronx artists, it would have still been a problem. Yeah, you got all Bronx artists, but you ain't include the East Bronx artists. You ain't include, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would have never been able to have 100 points on that test, period. Even if I did it at another place, or it's just, you know, when you come back to your hometown, a lot of people feel that they got that say-so. You know, they got, like, but if I go somewhere else, like, I could have did the show in Brooklyn. It was very easy for me to do it. Could have did it in Manhattan. It was very easy. It was laid out. I didn't even have to think about it. This was something that I had to fight for, and I wanted to fight for, and I'm happy I fought for it. You know?
Right, and in the end, it'll mean more because there was that, and it was that dialogue. And speaking of that dialogue, you and your wife have been very vocal about everything happening in the world. I mean, you guys are very active in Africa with many programs, but also locally here with all the police brutality, violence, police violence against just kids, black kids particularly. You being in a lot of the decision-making circles, financially speaking and creatively speaking, right? How do you feel over the last couple years and what you're seeing and hearing progress is being made about people being active, vocal, and pushing for change?
I think that I see more people pushing for a change now more than ever. Only, it's being promoted also now more than ever. And so my thing is like, why is this negativity being pushed to the forefront so much? Because we've been dealing with these things forever. I've seen these same things like in my hood and from Radio Raheem, like this is always like you could put a picture from 2016 in the 50s in black and white, it'd be the same picture. This has been an ongoing thing, and it's like now it's being put to the forefront. What's the political reason? I don't know. But I do like that it's putting it on our conscience. And it's just like how I told my son, he like to be grown, and he's 15 and running around. I'm like, whoa, chill out. I don't like, that vibe right there is not gonna work outside, because
you're gonna get yourself in trouble. You're
gonna get yourself in trouble from a street standpoint, from an officer standpoint. Like the temperature, you gotta know the temperature. It's like, the temperature, you gotta like kind of hold it back a little bit because there's a silent war going on. I don't think it's silent no more, but the youth don't really feel it because they so much in it. And they're in their world, but when you take a step back and be like, no. You can't do what you used to do because it's sensitive right now. And and I think as parents, we gotta equip our kids on how to deal with situations when they come up. Even though some situations that we've seen, there's no parenting can help those things. But as much as possible, know how to move, know how to avoid. Okay, you see a lot of commotion going on, don't run to that, go the other way. Somebody pull you over and have some respect, have some manners, lower your tone. Yes, officer. I ain't saying you gotta kiss ass all the way, but I'm just saying, like, give off the energy of a humble person. I think that'll get you more far than, yes, dude, like, what you pull me over for? Like, what's up? Because, if you didn't do nothing, you wait, like, your energy's on another level. It's like, yo, why you stopping me for? Like, you just bothering me. You picking on me, so.
People don't like being picked on.
They don't.
Nobody does.
I don't like being picked on.
No.
It took me a long time to get my patience.
Well, no, believe me, and especially I've had moments, and by the way, I've spoken extensively about how being white, my moments with the cops are not even remotely similar to people of color. That being said, just recently, I was in a situation where I was driving someplace I'd never been there before, didn't know what I was doing, and I'm pulling up, and it was like an unclear driving situation. And sometimes the officer will get mad at you before you even do anything. You're just kind of like unsure of what to do. And they're like, go! Ah! And like, you're just inherently like, bro, like, I'm an adult. I'm driving my own car. I don't commit illegal acts. I'm a good person. Please don't yell at me for no reason.
But that yelling probably don't even have nothing to do with you. That officer is probably dealing with something personal in his life at that particular moment.
Right.
And you doing one little thing, you got that whole clip.
Right, so you can't really, particularly, unfortunately, if you're someone of color, you can't be demonstrative about how that makes you feel. No. Like, I've told you, I might actually grill someone when that happens.
Well, and on top of that, one of the conversations we continually have is how these people are employees, right, of us, basically. They're paid for, their salaries are paid by taxes. They work for us and the taxpayer. They have a badge that represents the city or the county that they work for, and they're authorized to carry a gun. Our expectation of you in that uniform is of someone that can separate your personal, emotional issues away from your job. Unfortunately, everybody's human and everybody makes mistakes. But once again, and we've talked about it on the show, knowing that you're human and you made a mistake, we want to hear that you have accepted the responsibility of the mistakes that you make because you're human just like us.
Yeah,
right.
So when we can see that you made a mistake, own it. We know you've already fucked up. You in trouble. We know you don't want to go to jail, but the fact that you're chief of police,
25 to life though.
They not, and that's the problem.
But in some of those situations that we're talking about, Swizz, we may not even expect that they're going to get 25 to life because we know they're doing their job. And maybe, because like I would say, of all the horrible things that we've seen videos of, some
Crazy.
percentage, I won't say what it was, some percentage of them we could watch and go, man, that's messed up. But I get it. I get how it got there. You still messed up, but I get it. And I
And
don't,
then you see other ones like, yo, man, you brutalized that.
Yeah,
man.
that
Like
was
you brutalized.
Yes.
You need 25
Right,
to life. You didn't
exactly.
fuck up.
Yes.
You went in there with the intent to brutalize another human
Out the gate.
out
right.
the rip.
We gotta
the gate.
be able to separate those different things, right? Like as horrible as Alton Sterling and Philando Castile both were. I think we would both say, I don't think either of those guys set out that day to go harm someone. They were ill prepared to do their job. Maybe they had their own racial bias. I don't know. But no matter what, I don't believe they woke up thinking, I'm going to go kill someone.
That kid, the video of the kid in Chicago, though, when the kid with the knife.
Oh, no, Laquan McDonald?
Laquan
now,
McDonald?
Laquan McDonald,
That was
you have other
funny.
cops who are doing their job properly.
Yes.
And your fucking ass shows up.
Rambo style and just goes and kills someone. Now that's a different conversation.
That's crazy.
Now we're having a different conversation.
Right.
But we've said this so many times. So much of the community viewing this differently would come from ownership of messing up. Like, it's such a big part of it.
And I think that what happens is the code. You know, I think the code is so strong that, because I know good cops.
Of course.
We all do.
And we know bad cops. I've been in a situation where bad cops tried to plant something and I wouldn't be here. It would have changed my entire life. But the good cop came and intercepted that. Now we're not doing that. Go home. All because of a race war that was happening internally in the establishment.
Wow.
You understand?
And the cop who helped you out knew who you were? And was
Yes.
just like, oh, whoa, no.
Yeah, because what happened was, I guess one of the officers locked up, one of the black officers locked up one of the white officers' nephews for drunk driving. And that's like, I guess it was against the code or whatever. So they was like, oh, okay, you gonna do that? So it was like a quiet race war. I'm coming home from the studio. It's drenching outside. I mean, like, you can't even see in front of you, right? And so my driver's driving and the cops just pull us. I'm like, what? Like, why? And these guys, like, plain clothes, super diesel, tatted up, everything. I had to look back and see, like, is this a guy? Like, who are
Yeah, you
these
must have been a
people?
little freaked out. Like, what the
know.
fuck's
I'm
going on?
like, it's raining. I'm like, these, no, like, tank, like, T-shirt on, like, just on
Just
some, like,
in the rain.
in the rain. I'm like, I ain't never seen this one before. Make my driver get out, put him on the hood of the car. So I know the highway patrol person as well. So I call him like, listen, you know, this is feeling a little strange. I'm on, you know, I didn't do anything. Pulling us over, they got this weird vibe going on. And I just had him on the phone. Thank God. And so they going back and forth, asking this, asking that. To make a long story short, came back to the car, this bag, white stuff. This is why we pulled you over. What is this? I said, I don't know. You tell me. Like, what? He's like, I said, you said we was doing 75 miles per hour in this rain. You tell me. Then I showed him my PBA card. He throws it across the highway. I
Whoa.
was like,
This
like,
see,
that's-
Swizz, this story is, whoa, keep going. I'm in.
Yeah, he you know, he threw it across the highway. I was like, okay, I said, listen, I'm telling you, I'm not your guy. And that's what I'm telling you. I said, I gave you my PBA card. You threw it across the highway. I'm telling you, I'm not your guy.
For people watching not from here, PBA card is a Friends of Police card, and you get it if you have friends on the
Mine
force,
had like the
family.
badge and everything on. I mean, it was like
the real deal
It
one.
was the real one. Throws it across the highway. I don't care about that. Well, don't fuck. Like it was like F the PBA card because it's not even about that at this particular moment. So he got the drugs, and we going back and forth. I'm like, I know they not trying to play me right now, And because they wanted me to get out the car, and I was like, I know my rights. Like, where's the warrant? Where's this? Where's that? I was being very calm as well. I wasn't like overreacting. I was eating my food. It's super late. I'm dumb tired from the studio already, and I'm just like, listen, I'm not your guy. Like, and he was just super hostile. And they still got my guy on the front, searching them all crazy.
You're sitting in the car still. They're talking to you through the window.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And they're attempting to get ready to take me out the car. 2 cop cars on the left side come across the highway. I mean, like angels. I still remember this. Jump out the car, jumps in. One officer jumps in the other officer's car that was harassing me. Whatever, they was having like a big conversation, and then the other cop pulled the cop that was talking to me away, and like in 5 seconds, gave back my drivers put my driver back in the car, gave him the license, boom, said go. And that's how that ended. So
Did they retrieve your PBA card from across the highway?
no.
Doubt it.
I ain't want it. I was gone. I just wanted to leave.
And so they just had powder coke just ready to pin anybody
Yeah,
with
yeah, it was
it.
gonna
Just
pin me
on they shit.
And you still
And
had
they
your
what?
man on the speakerphone?
Yeah, he heard everything. He heard everything. And that's how he was able to get those units there. So there was a thing where it was a bad cop versus good cop.
You saw it right in front of you.
It was there. I was like, oh, this is like an internal thing also that spills out into the streets. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's it's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, and then you just had the report the Justice Department released again, after they investigated Baltimore, which basically just called the whole Baltimore Police Department piece of shit. Like, I don't know what the next steps are on that, but we're going to see more and more, which is also why I think your man, the chief of police here, what was his name? Bratton just stepped down. Because there's so many investigations that are going to happen about corruption and cover-ups and what the next steps are, and then the police union is going to get involved saying you can't fire these people and protecting this one and that. It's going to get messy on for a lot of communities. Swizz, no commission. It's going on in the Bronx.
Yes. Yeah,
you have to RSVP to go check it out. But
it's sold out now.
so you can't even get in now.
Yeah, I've been promoting it for a while, and much love to everybody that that did their thing.
Hold on, real quick, before we let Swizz get out of here, just a couple quick
I
things.
wasn't gonna rap. We gotta get to this music talk. We
Okay,
gotta get to this DMX talk. We gotta get to you know what I mean.
So that was just part one?
That was just part one.
You want to tell our other interviews, just buzz off?
No, they good. They'll be chilling for a second.
Okay.
They good for a second.
You might as well tell them to dip, because we
just
haven't
canceled the other
We haven't even
interviews?
started music yet. Where are you going to go?
Well, we can't go.
But
We're
he
not gonna
just
go
wanna
into his
battle
whole
me on this beat, so that's
discography. No. We're not gonna go into a whole discography of Swizz, but obviously you've been working with DMX and you guys are working on music, and he is touring and he is doing shows, and health wise he's much better. And
Is he really? He's really better health
like
wise.
for real,
Never seen him like this.
ever.
Thank
The
God.
man shows up before people at shows.
Yeah, he's on time now.
Like on time, like that's his new thing. Like I get to something, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna just wait for X. Like, nah, X been here. He's back there like, eating. I'm like, serious? They ain't even let people in yet.
What happened? What changed? Sorry,
Wait, real
sorry,
quick though, but you still show up because I want the people to know that. I know that behind the
Yeah.
scenes that you're one of the people in DMX's life that shows up wherever there is a problem,
Yes,
picks him up.
I'm the DMX police.
So if you're ever wondering like what really happened with X, you could call Swizz and he'll be like, "Nah, I'm with him right now, making sure this is right. I'm in the hospital." Like you actively.
So what
have been
happened? How
working.
did we get here?
I think he was already on his way here, and then when he had that situation where we almost lost him, made him really get here. And he just looked back, and I guess he looked back at his legacy, and he looked back at all his responsibilities with his kids, and was like, "Yo, I got to do the right thing. I can change and really not make it about myself." Like he's on a different mission. He's on a mission like for other people now and his kids and different things like that. I mean, he's always been for his kids, but like he's like only focused there. And he just turned into like a super DMX, like super DMX. And I have a video like to the beginning of this process, like 3 years now. The music is not the problem. It's just like he needed to show up mentally, spiritually, you know what I'm saying, healthy. We could have been put songs out. It's been done.
You didn't want to start taking steps when you knew he wasn't ready.
It's a waste of time. Like, I'd rather keep the legacy what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why come out and half-ass play around? Like, let's go. Like, we gonna go. Let's go, and let's go big. Like, let's not put one foot in the door and pussyfoot in. Oh, no, not. It's too much start and stop. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when people hear these 10 songs, they're gonna know what time it is.
Okay. So is there a set project that that is like done or near completion? Is there a name? Is there a
like-
date?
You played me what? Six? I heard 6 records.
Yeah, we got a couple more now. Probably could use 2 more.
Any collaborations?
He gonna get mad at me.
Can't say any. Give us one. Give us one.
Now you can hold it.
No, why?
Now
I
you
want
got-
one.
Let
now
them
you
put
gotta
their
let
plan
him do it.
together. Let him. Yeah.
He hasn't been here. We have not had DMX one time.
So let's
You
book
gotta
him.
get him here.
All right, I really would
Because
like
my
that.
thing is, I like the artist to like reveal their project.
Okay.
You know,
All
I'm
right.
the
All
producer of the
right.
project. Like, even if it wasn't DMX, the artist should be able to unveil those moments and why they had those people on.
No, that makes sense. You guys were on the set list for Drake, but you didn't perform, right?
Correct.
Why not? Is it because you had Ebro's back and you're like, I'm not setting foot on that stage?
Nah,
I appreciate that.
Yo, Drake's our guy, man. Stop, man.
Maybe just not right now.
No, he's our guy. We're not his guy. It's different. He was mad about some goofy rumor.
So yeah, but why not? Why didn't
It was
the?
very simple. X was being responsible and had to take care of something in Buffalo, which I'm glad he went to go take care, and it ran a little late, and he just wasn't gonna make it in time.
Okay. Big story.
Can you today talk about any of the other collaborations and productions you're currently working on? We just had Snoop up, so that's public information.
There was just this one too. You got your thing of it. There was this one. Don't forget.
Preacher told me don't set trip on a Sunday.
This one, Schoolboy Q.
Tough.
Schoolboy, I love that. Wait until they hear the full version though.
Oh, what do you mean? There's another version? Oh, yeah, because this is a minute 44.
Yeah, that's the snippet.
So you had Snoop, you did Schoolboy Q. You've been pretty prolific recently.
We
there
got
was this
some
one.
new Pusha coming, some new T.I. coming.
There was this one.
And you're always
New
working with
Nas
A-Rap music
coming.
too.
There's this one.
Yeah, shout
Man,
out
I
to
can
A-Rap.
understand
Oh,
how it might be kind of hard.
It's one of my favorite
to love
things, though.
a girl
Oh,
like me.
It's one of your best ad libs of all time.
That's what people saying. Like that was like the rebirth of my ad libs again. I was trying to get away from the ad libs.
Right here?
So let me ask you this. When you work with somebody like Kanye West, right, you gave him the idea for the track, the basics and the ad-libs, and then he takes it from there. What was the...
Equally a collaboration. Like we just go on it. Like I spent like 70-something hours straight in the studio with Ye. Worked on like 30 different tracks. And you know, like we just like
Just go.
just going, like, you know what I'm saying? And just boom, adding all a bunch of stuff. The only thing is like he don't really edit a lot of things. I'm thinking like, okay, like we'll take some of the ad libs. He's like, nah, just like I need it like this. I'm like,
I didn't really intend that.
I laid a lot of them so we could just pick a few of them. He was like, nah, this is it, right? I said, fuck it, you know, that's it. You know, but
I mean,
it's fun to work with you.
It,
you know.
and I've heard some other things that I'm sure the audience would be excited about. I'm not sure if you're privy to talk about them.
Which ones?
I don't want to bring them up without permission. You know, people don't think I keep secrets. I keep a lot of secrets.
Yeah, there's way
keep a
more.
lot of
They have no idea.
I keep a lot of secrets. It's a Bronx collaboration.
Oh gosh, KRS-One.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, don't forget, we also had this.
The KRS-One
Yeah.
joints?
We had
What's
this.
going on with the KRS-One joints, man?
Like, I did those out of respect of KRS-One and the Bronx, and you know, I just thought that like we needed to be in the studio and do some vibes. And so whatever he wanted to do with those vibes,
It's on him.
It's on him. I just wanted to do that just as
Wait, so
like,
you didn't care? Business-wise, you don't care?
Nah, I can never charge KRS-One like ever.
So even if KRS just says, I'm putting out an album with all Swizz Beatz records, and you never hear about it, you just see it out. You don't give a shit. You just want it out.
I mean, I would like to hear about the rollout because
you want to help support it.
you know what I'm saying. Let me. You know, I am creative in that space. I can like, yo, let's do it like this, do it like that.
But
You
from
know,
a monetary standpoint, it doesn't matter to you.
it
It's just
doesn't.
about doing it.
It was
Because
just-
this joint,
The records are
just this joint was tight. Hearing that was crazy.
Lean posse.
Chris ripped this.
Hey, Chris, they might need the rest of these things, man. Now that I'm hearing this.
It sounds so good.
Hey.
Fight back, shoot back, loot that, protest, break to the helmet. I ain't feeling no stress. Going up against the cops, I ain't wearing no vest. The city where I come from makes your life hopeless. We try to stay focused, go to school and listen. But for us, school is just another pre-prison. The only way the people listen is when they threaten. So grab your weapon, it could be on in a second. Class warfare, yeah, we got it all here.
on the future,
The
this
poor
joint.
getting so poor they cannot even bear. The rich getting so rich they cannot
Now,
even.
was that actually going to be a remix together, or was he just spitting on that song?
It was going to be a remix together.
And why didn't they just put it out? Any idea?
Everybody, you know, get busy. I was like, I gotta let this thing go.
Yeah, you can't just have.
I gotta let that one go.
Yo, we
Yeah.
need KRS. Let's be honest. We need KRS-One and Chuck D more than ever right now.
What?
Man,
You know what he was saying in that verse?
did you hear?
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
School ain't nothing to us but pre-prison.
That's what I'm saying, man.
What he's
Well, I
saying
gotta-
on the rest of those joints too.
Yo, so I just wanted to, for the audience that is fans of the music and knows that you do a lot of work, I wanted to highlight those moments while we have you at Hot 97. Swizz is doing something awesome for art in the South Bronx, so salute to you for that. Finally, because I know that was a long process for you. I've been asking you to come up here for at least 18 months.
You definitely put your bid in early.
Yo.
Wow, so hold on. This is a big news. We need a special news alert. Ebro did, in fact, ask you for an interview.
Yes.
Okay, on the microphone.
I thought it was me because I was pressuring him like, yo, we have to have Swizz up here, no commission.
It's already happening.
He's like, I'm like, where's the email?
Okay,
Give me the email.
All right, because we worry about him. Sometimes we think Ebro only likes to have private conversations, no interviews. And you guys are actually real friends, so there's no reason.
Well, would you explain to them that I have a lot of conversations with people that the reason they don't come up here is because they're afraid that when I get them up here, I'm going to out the private
But maybe this will help. You saw you didn't do anything. This is maybe a good example for other artists to watch
You
this.
can trust Ebro,
I see
y'all.
that you can trust. Swizz puts the stamp on him. He's good.
Yo, Swizz, man, we need this music. What else are you working on that we need to pay attention today about or plan to pay attention to outside of art? Because the music thing is important, especially the sounds you make that are good for New York City too, and the artists coming out.
I think people should pay attention to my partnership and Bacardi. I'm gonna send you the Forbes article about it.
Okay.
You with Bacardi?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you do for Bacardi?
Run all 200 brands now. But what I'm doing is I want people to
Wait. So you, Swizz Beatz, our guy, is over 200 brands inside Bacardi.
Grey Goose, you name it, Doers.
And this isn't like we just gonna see you holding the bottle in a video.
I'm actually trying to get rid of like brands paying for artists to hold up drinks and posters and stuff to pay them. I want brands to get behind the artist's dream, and the drink that artist happened to be drinking is that brand. And that's how like no commissions work. Like you'll never see me holding up a Bacardi bottle and the poster saying, hey, we're here, or whatever the case may be. Although other people might choose to do that. That's their style. But what I want to do is I want to establish a new relationship with the artists and brands where it's like, don't just pull from the artists. Like really invest into that dream and really invest into that artist. And then everything else that go with it just happened to be that. But not only, okay, we paid you to hold this up and
right.
pose and then,
But that requires long-term vision from both sides, right? Like there's companies like Red Bull, for example. Red Bull spends a ton of money, but they don't really just come write you a check for cash. But if they find out that some biker is trying to build some crazy ramp, they'll come bring the money.
That's exactly what's going on, but I'm doing it for lifestyle and culture.
Got it.
They did it in extreme. I'm doing the same thing for lifestyle and culture.
That's dope, man.
You're going to see like when I say super activations, you're going to be like, oh, that was crazy. I want to do the craziest things and rebuild the relationship, with the brands and artists, and then give the artists more. Like Bacardi don't own no commission or the Dean Collection, but they back it and they support it. It's a big difference because that's why, a lot of people, if they invest in like millions and millions of dollars in something you're doing, they need a piece of that. Nah, you can't own that. That artists own that. If you free the artist, you free the world. And I respect Mr. Dolan, the new CEO, comes from IMG, of Bacardi, allowing these things to happen. He's a very creative person. And even, Facundo, the heir of Bacardi, for allowing this. And they're big art collectors for over 100 years. And, to let me have this freedom to do these amazing things, and people actually, their lives are really changing. Like all these artists that's in no commission, like they're going to be able to continue their career, and some are going to be able to start new careers, no strings attached. So like it's important to reestablish the brand and the artist relationship because now it's not a trusted one.
That's dope.
Swizz Beatz, ladies and gentlemen, no commission in the South Bronx for all the artists. We pay attention to this Bacardi thing,
Yeah, it's gonna be big.
Now, me, I'll hold up a bottle. So
Yeah,
just
I'll
cut
hold up
the
a bottle
check.
too, but I'm not gonna pay you to hold up a bottle. I'm gonna pay you to come with like, I'm gonna come like, give me like some crazy, amazing thing where we can help a lot of people, we can inspire a lot of people. It
So we gotta plan something.
It gotta be
I got something, bro.
Got an idea?
I got one.
It gotta be
right
bigger
now.
than Summer Jam.
Bigger than Summer Jam?
Yeah.
You don't mean not more people than Summer Jam? That'll be tough.
Listen, think about it.
All right.
That's 55,000.
I can do this. Let me think.
Swizz Beatz, give it up, man.
Thank you.